right, here we are in a beautiful Lake Havasu City day. We're handling several cars out of a very large collection here in Lake Havasu City, and we're going to cover this one and all the street rods. Several of the cars you see sitting around here will be covered individually at Spud's Garage. And we thought we'd do the street rods or the hot rods in a museum here, where a lot of the cars are stored. We did most of the muscle cars outside where they were photographed, where this car was photographed. Anyway, you'll want to go to Spud's Garage to learn more about that. But beautiful little 32 Ford Roadster hot rod. Nice little Roadster, finished in a Corvette Millennium black over Corvette Millennium yellow. It's very nicely done car. A lot of little high-end touches on this car. Nobody cut corners when they built this little Roadster. It's a Show Me Custom out of Missouri, fiberglass body with a 4-inch stretch on it. We'll step back for you to give a feel here. So it's got plenty of leg room for the big guy and a lot of room. There's actually a bop top for it. Go to spudsgarage.com. We have pictures of the car with the top on and the top off. We'll share that with you. We took it off so we could do the video here and you get a really good feel of the car and most of the photo shoot. Underneath the hood is a Chevy 350 with an LT1 tune port, straight in performance, 700 R4 automatic, and a Ford Currie 9-inch rear differential. Now that I got that out of the way, we'll cover the rest of the stuff here, and we'll spend some time under the hood like I always do. Up on the lift with the car, has a Duval windshield in it, some nice little cowl mounted peep style mirrors on here which you can actually see out of or get a feel for. The bop top is finished in a black. We're going to give you a view all the way around as we go around here. There's a custom one-off billet mirror on the windshield. These Duval windshields are really nice because it gives it kind of a sleek, nice feel. If you're looking for a car that looks great, draws a lot of attention, and that's funner than heck to drive. I've driven it twice here. It's sitting on a Pete and Jake's chassis, and we'll cover that in more detail. So it's a traditional drop front end, chrome hairpins on them you just saw there, tube front axle, coil over shocks. I like the way they've finished, brought the Millennium Black and the Corvette Yellow together on the car with a little orange line. Kind of gives it a little bit of a Harley feel. Not really, but it draws a lot of attention. You can see it's nicely done. This was painted by Raphael. It's about a 10-year-old build, so you'll find miscellaneous flaws here and there, just tiny little things I'll point out when I see them, and I'll cover them for you. But well presented, very nice little car. Painted by Raphael out of Southern California, a well-known painter. Nicely done, professional finish on the car. Colorado custom wheels, 15-inch in the front and rear. You can see the reflections here, how nice the finish is on this car. You could pick it, like I said, for a little tiny, it's been built about 10 years. So there's a little flaw right here where somebody messed up taking the hood off, that kind of thing. Those are easy touch-ups for these. For some reason we got out of focus there, and we'll see if we can get this back in focus. Hairpin front end, Pete and Jake's chassis, 1 3/4 tubular structure, traditional 4-bar rear end in it. And again, we're going to spend time on the undercarriage with you. Get over here and look at the dash and the interior of it. The interior wasn't a cheap date either. This particular interior is a Gabe Lopez all leather interior. The top was fitted by Ron Mangus, but you'll see the bunched leather inserts here. A lot of room, a lot of leg room in this car. I'm 6'1", a couple hundred pounds, and I feel like I'm sitting in a lounge chair. Things I talked about, a little bit of door rub here on both sides, which is pretty typical. You get the door here. BF Goodrich TA radials, again Colorado custom wheels. Fun little place to do the video here. This is the first one we're videoing inside here, so it should be good. We'll get a feel for it here. Just nice little highboy Roadster. Looking from the backside here, it has a custom drop-down license plate. Actually, this car is It Be Cool, and the license plate has got an It Be Cool license plate, which would be signed over if there's an Arizona buyer. It can go as a garage trophy too with the car. It actually sat over there at the gas station pumps, and that's what he used it for, was a display next to the gas station pumps there. And Spud's Garage actually sold this to the collection many years ago. Not many, probably 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. It's lucky if it's got a couple hundred miles on it since it was done. The car was built and put together here in Lake Havasu, and a lot of the work was done in Southern California. We know the history really nice on this car. It's a good little car. Best part of it is it's fun to drive and it attracts lots of attention. You get up underneath the dash here, typical high-end interior. Again, the bunch leather inserts on the doors here. German square weave carpet. Nicely fitted. Again, the 4-inch stretch here gives you a lot of extra room. This is the top mount here. Little tiny rub spot here. There's the fuel fills is right here, and there's a couple little chips here. You could, like I said, I'm not going to pick it for every little thing, but the Millennium Yellow is easy to touch up if you wanted to. You get underneath the dash here, and you'll see that, you know, typical high-end where it's all finished off here. There's a nice little billet panel here, and this is all boxed off where all the wires are. Tilt steering column. Nice kick panels that flow. See how they flow into the door there. German square weave carpet. Low car shifter. Lacara steering wheel. Again, tilt column. This is a knob for releasing the hood on both sides. You'll see the paint job, the level of paint job, they actually did the two-tone all the way into the door jambs. A lot of guys will get lazy and they won't do that, so this was done right. Allen head hardware in the door jambs. German square weave carpet, like I said, but it also has German square weave carpet floor mats in it. Has, just like the chassis, it has the Pete and Jake's hot rod parts, so it goes along with the chassis. Gauges in it, a full gauge set. They're all functional, and this car is a hoot to drive. This is the trunk release right here. We'll actually get into the trunk in just a minute, so I'll go and loosen that up for you. I'm going to fire it up so you can hear it run here in the building. To be nice, you'll hear it run several times throughout the video. Kind of car you twist the key and you go for a spin. 2-inch exhaust. Turn the headlights on. See, all the dash lights work. Anyway, I'm thinking it's about time you get in. Okay, we thought we'd leave it here running here and just get into the trunk here. Where you'll see that the taillights are LED. Gabe Lopez interior follows into the trunk of the car. Billet hinges. Again, no corners were cut here. This is for knocking the center caps off on the wheels to get the wheels off. There's little courtesy lamps in the trunk here. This little panel pulls back and the fuel tank's there and the battery's back there. All right, as promised, we get you underneath the hood here and share the engine compartment with you. My favorite part is always, it's a fun little car to drive. Hang on a few and we'll take you for a spin in it. Nicely done Chevy 350, very healthy little 350. Street and Performance fuel injection on it. Polished housing here. Has an aluminum radiator with electric cooling fan. Pretty basic, just nice horsepower and nicely detailed, subtle is what I'd say. The Millennium Yellow on the firewall here and the hood sides. The hood removes, tips either direction or it removes totally, which we've done here for the video. Again, the scallops here. Instead of just a hose, they actually made a tube and plated it here. You can see where the headlight braces meet down there. Yellow spark plug wires. These LT1 tune ports are fun. Individual fuel injectors per cylinder. The runners are all about the same, so they're tuned out nicely. These root lib style 3-piece hoods are really nice so that you can go either direction like I talked about just a minute ago. A lot of nice little billet, polished billet valve covers. Chrome water pump down here. I'm thinking by now you get the idea. Definitely hang on to the end of the video. We're going to take this little girl for a spin. Share the undercarriage with you up on a lift. 700R4 automatic overdrive, Currie 9-inch rear differential. Talk to you soon. All right, as we promised, we'll get it up on the lift here and share the undercarriage with you and cover it like we usually do. Really neat. As I mentioned during the walk around, this is the kind of car you want to drive and have fun with and feel safe with, so to speak. Well engineered with a Pete and Jake's chassis. We'll walk up here and we'll tell you more about the chassis as we go along. Traditional 4-bar coil-over rear suspension here. 4-wheel disc brakes. We'll show you the disc brakes up in the front too. It's got polished backing plates. Neat little exhaust system on it, just subtle. It sounds good on the car. You've already heard it run during the walk around. The way they did the exhaust is kind of neat also. It comes out in sections, so if you want to work on it, I like things that are built so you can take them apart and address things. Tailpipes are chrome plated and they disconnect from the Flowmaster mufflers here. And it's got a crossover here that goes over, that unbolts, and then it unbolts from this section, so the muffler sections come apart, the crossover comes out, and then the forward sections could be removed, so if you want to fix any particular part of it, you could. These Pete and Jake chassis are really nice, creates a nice little ride. It's got some nice added billet features, but they're all structural. They're fully boxed. They have 1 3/4 tube structure throughout it here, so this is really a tight little unit. The rear end in it is a Ford Currie 9-inch with a nice little billet cover on the back here. We'll show you the Currie Anaheim, California label. It's on the back of the diff here, so a lot of neat little high-end parts on this car. Not they didn't cut any corners, in other words. Has brake proportioning valve here, or where you can set front to rear bias, whatever you like brake wise feel, and it's set to where it feels great. Has a dual reservoir master cylinder with power brakes, so a really light little car with power brakes, 4-wheel disc. These chassis too also have a deal here where you can take out the center portion here, and it allows you to get the transmission out without taking the engine out. Again, forward thinking design. Neat little heat shield somebody put here over the exhaust to keep it from warming up there on that side. There's some electrical components up there. Trans cooler, don't know if I already said that. 700R4 automatic overdrive transmission. Maybe late 700R4, 4L60E type. We'll call it a 700R4. That's the specs we have. All the wiring's nice, and they used, all the brake lines are nice. They used AN fittings on it. Little billet retainers here to hold the brake line throughout the chassis. It has a traditional dropped axle in the front, tube axle. I'm going to say that's probably about a 4-inch drop. Has a Vega cross steer box that's polished. It has a panhard bar here. So very traditional in feel and style. Coilover front shocks. Polished billet backing plates with polished billet calipers up front. Little horn hidden up in here. BF Goodrich radial tires. We'll do a little walk around on the other. Nice little chrome oil pan on the 350 Chevy tune port. Get a little bit here, see if I can slide this jack forward. I don't know if I can without hitting the front suspension. Kind of give you a feel here up front. Chin of the radiator's never been bumped on. Again, tube axle, drop tube axle, coilover shocks. Maxi H4 headlamps on the front here. Little bug screen. Anyway, one more quick path through. At the different angle. Chrome inspection plate, mini high torque starter. All the wiring on this car is really nice. It's heat shrink and nice connectors and that kind of thing. All right, as a little final view on the video here at the end here, I thought I'd do the walk around, bring it down to eye level, and for you to take a peek at this level. Colorado custom wheels, BF Goodrich tires. Give you a look at the view here. Has we talked about a traditional dropped axle, so it has hairpins in the front here, chrome hairpins, so all chrome front suspension coilovers. Show you along the frame rails here, the body color frame rails. 4 bars there. The we'll get around to the, I didn't do the front tire size. The rear tire size is a 285/70 R15 BF Goodrich radial TAs. In the back here, again, a lot of little billet dress. We gave you a view from the back, but this billet license plate, IB Cool, actually when you start the car up, it comes down, and so it's got an automatic retractable license plate, so to speak. Again, Colorado custom wheels. Front tire size is a, let's look here, 195/60 R15s in the front. There you go. Go to spudsgarage.com. Thanks for listening to the video. Have a great day. All right, he's backing it out after doing the lift here. All right, he's taking it back to the museum. Could be going to your garage.